Yes, yes, yes. You have tuned in to Renewed Mind Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cook Hall. Today's podcast is brought to you by Faith versus Fear, Breaking Family Ties, which can be found and available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. This podcast is designed with you in mind to remind you that you can always click that reset button and start all over again. It's never too late to be great. So now I want you to sit back. I want you to relax. I want you to clear your mind, take in that deep breath, prepare yourself for change as we listen in on Renewed Mind Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cook Hall. Let's go. Welcome to Renewed Mind Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cook Hall. As always, it is my honor and my pleasure to be able to come and share some tips and some tools with you that would assist you in becoming a better you. Today, we have a special guest, and her name is Antionett Beck. And I want you all please to give her your undivided attention as she comes and shares with us more about her program. Antionett Beck is financial literacy guru. And she's going to share with us how we become more financially self-sufficient. I mean, in this day and this age, this is something that we definitely need to learn more about. And to be honest, in our culture, we need to know more about that because I do believe in generational wealth and leaving my children something and them to leave their children something. So this is like really important, especially for this time. So Antionett is not only that, a mentor for financial literacy, but she's also the co-founder of Level Up Financial, correct?
I am the founder.
Founder. All right. So we got an entrepreneur here today, and that's really important. She's also a consultant, a mentor, and a success coach. So look, what we're going to do is give Antionett Beck the platform to go ahead and share some information about what she do. And most importantly, why is this important? Why is because a lot of times we come up with things and it's we're trying to figure out, okay, what is the significance of this, right? So she's going to share with us why what she do is important, not only for now, but for the near future and going on, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so go ahead. The platform is yours, Antionett. Welcome to Renew My Revolution podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
So, again, my name is Antionett. I am the founder of Level Up Financial. And my business, we do everything business. So we like to educate our audience and our clients on how to be successful, right? How to have a successful business, how to structure a business. Okay. So, when starting a business, you definitely want to make sure that you're structured properly. And then when you say structured properly, a lot of people don't understand that because, they think when you have a LLC and the EIN, that's all you need. Mm-hmm. When it's so much more to that, right? So we help structure the business. We help with getting the business structured with the website, with marketing. We help with funding. We walk you through how to get those high limit, credit card, those lines of credit. We educate you on once, you do this, what you can invest that money, into to keep the money coming back, right? Mm-hmm. Because you don't want to just go out here and get all this money and then just, don't know what to do with this. So we come up with a strategy plan. We come up with a whole business plan. We also introduce our clients to how to write grants. Okay. We also give them, all the newest grants that are out that are beneficial to that niche in your business. Mm. So that is what we try to, pride ourselves on
Mhm.
is, making sure that we can teach our people, as much as they need in the beginning process, and even in, whatever stage of your business you are in, how to get funding, keep funding, and have it come back to you, right? How to invest it, different things in that nature. So that's more of what we do at Level Up Financial.
Okay. So that's the literacy part, because as you stated, a lot of times, okay, for example, for myself, I started this business, right? I did it for
Mhm.
me and my son. I wanted to teach him certain things, my younger son. And so one of the biggest walls that I came into was the funding, right?
Mhm.
So, right, I think everybody says that, right?
Yes.
And you're right. You have to be so careful regarding what funding is available to you in your niche. But not only that, the responsibility that
Yes.
comes with that, right? Because
Yes.
we all saw what happened with the PP loans, right? Where people were just being
Exactly.
totally irresponsible,
Exactly.
you know. They just think it's just free money, but it's a responsibility that comes with this. And so that's the literacy part that you're talking about. And that's,
Right.
I appreciate that. And what I didn't really know about your business until you start talking is that this is like not just we're dealing with this area, but we're dealing with
No.
like all the branches that come
Yes.
from this, right? So like
Yes.
financial literacy is the core, but then we start
Mhm.
doing and this as well to make sure that you're going to be successful, right, in your business,
Yes.
you're independent.
Different.
Yeah, I like this. I
Yeah.
appreciate this. So tell me, you said I could call you Tony, right?
Yes.
So we're friends now, Tony. I'm going to start calling you Tony. Okay, so Tony, tell me, why did you think this was important? Was this something that you had from your own experience, and and you decided, let me share? Because, for example, I'm an author, right? And so one of the things that I learned so many loops and holes and trauma from being an author, right? All
Yes.
the ups and downs and everything. And so because of that, a lot of people come to me and they'll ask me, how did you get started? What did you
Mhm.
do? Do you know anybody? They start asking me because they think that this is something I was able to produce.
Right.
Is that sort of your story when it comes to this program?
So, like, my story is I knew that I wanted to. So, I have a background in healthcare.
Okay.
I was in healthcare for about 12 years until, COVID. I got
Okay.
the COVID burnout, and I was just like, I prayed on it, and I said, God, if you can just give me a vision on something I can do that's going to cannibal our, people to be able to continue to build and have generational wealth and step away from their 9 to 5s,
Yeah.
you know, I I'm here for it.
Right.
So when I left my 9 to 5,
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what? It started with me working on my personal credit. So
Mm-hmm.
then when I mastered that, I'm like, oh yes, like I can do this.
Right. Right.
Because talking about credit is pretty much taboo, right? Nobody really wants to talk about it. It's just one of those things, was never talked about, never taught. So
Oh, true.
it's all trial and error with a lot of us, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
18 to 22, 25, you're not worried about credit. You just know I can go get a Sprint phone, and then things happen. I don't have to pay it,
Right. Right.
put it
Right.
on my credit.
Right.
But so what I wanted to do was readjust people's mindsets,
Right.
because it all starts with the mind shift, right?
Yeah.
So when I started seeing results with my personal credit when I was working on it,
Mm-hmm.
I knew, like, oh, okay, I can do this. I
Right.
can teach people how to do this. I can teach them the importance of why you need to have a good credit score and what possibilities it can open for you.
Yes.
Because even on the personal side, even building good business credit,
Mm-hmm.
you still on certain, when you go to certain banks, have to use your personal credit if you don't have a strong enough business profile, right? So that is what I try to teach them. So it was really intriguing for me when I knew like I could do this because I was the proof, right?
Yeah.
I did it with my personal self, and then I started on the business side. I mean, when I tell you I read so many books, I follow so many people who are already like doing it successful, you know. So it's definitely something that is important because a lot of people, you know, just don't know, or they don't know where to start. Right. Just like with business, you know, a lot of people come to me, and when they file their LLC and have their EIN, they don't know to get a virtual address. They don't know not to use their home address, right? So, you know, people, there's certain little things that people don't know in starting businesses, or even once you have established the business, where to get funding. And I am like the cheat code, right? Okay. I'm going to tell you how to get there. I'm going to tell you which banks, you know, you can go get a $50,000 to $100,000 no doc loan. You know, it's just a lot of things that people don't talk about because a lot of people feel like, oh, you know, I don't know how to start, or I don't want to ask that person, or, you know, but we all need help. We've all needed help at some point, right?
Right.
So if you don't ask, then you're going to stay stagnant, right? So that is why I'm here.
Right. And you hit so many points. When I was growing up, education was pushed. Credit was not. No Correct. One in my household ever talked about credit. And then when I went to college, they were throwing credit cards at you. I mean, you can get any credit card back
anything, right?
Just by you being in college. You have no job or anything, but the fact that you were going to college, you were going to get these credit cards because in their mind, he's going to grow, you know, graduate, and then they're going to get this money. They'll pay us back.
Right. Yep.
So no one taught me that. So when I had got to the point when I wanted to purchase a home of my own, you know, I had to undo so much damage. And it was so difficult, so challenging. But like you stated, it was a learning experience for me. So now you kind of learn the ins and outs of it. You know, and it's by trial and error. It's exactly what you said. It's by trial and error. And so when I had my own kids, now I have a son that is 25. I got one that is 21 and a daughter 17. But when the oldest, all of them have heard my speech about credit from day one. Like, do not mess up your credit. Pay your bills on time. You know, don't overextend yourself. This is so, you know, important. And I remember when my oldest son was, you know, getting ready to purchase his own condo, his own home, just to see that he was able to do that. You know, he was only, 23 years old, young Black man. I didn't have to co-sign. No one had to co-sign. He just went in there and was able to do that. And I just felt like, wow, like I broke that, you know what I'm saying? Yes. I broke that little chain, you know, and I felt, you know, good about that. And then my youngest son was able to go and get his own car. No one had to co-sign. Got it on his own. And like you stated, unfortunately, in our culture, you know, we would teach education, religion, and everything else, but financial, right? I don't know why we don't talk about that. I mean, maybe in some households they do, but the majority that I know of, credit just is not emphasized the way it should be, and how it follows you everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go, it's like, and it takes, once you know, get in a rut with it, it takes work.
It's easy. It's easy to get it, but it's very hard to fix it.
Right. And if you're young, you don't know any better, right? like you said, well, they said yes.
Yeah.
So I got this. But if
Right.
I don't
Right.
pay for it, it's just the fact that I couldn't pay for it at the time. It's not my fault. You don't know that little phone or whatever is going to follow you, for years and years to come when you're ready to make a major purchase or something like that. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I've had plenty of
Yes.
experience
I know.
with that.
Even when in my home, when I was purchasing my home, underwriting, they went back to a bill from 2011. I bought my home in 2020, right? So I'm
Yes.
like, how do you even see it? Like they're
They
like,
all
yeah,
start
we need
coming
you
out
to,
of everywhere.
yes, yes.
Things
They're
that
like,
you
we
think
need
were
you to pay
gone,
that.
they just start popping up like when you're ready to make a major purchase. You're
Mm-hmm.
so right. I mean, I don't even think I slept during that time because my little finance guy was calling me like nonstop, Michelle, Michelle, Michelle. This is popped up, Michelle, Michelle. I'm like, where did that come from? It was so
Yeah.
long ago. But if you can nip it in the bud from the
Mm-hmm.
very beginning, it'll
Yes.
make the whole transition so much
Right.
more smoother. And I would love for our generation, the generation, well, not my generation, but the younger
Mm-hmm.
generation to
Mm-hmm.
understand that now,
Mm-hmm.
to get that now, to understand this concept now. And so,
Yes.
that's why I stated when I started this business with my younger son. My oldest son now is married. And, we will pull him in at some point. But right now it's me and my younger son because I'm teaching. I was trying my best to teach him, start from the
Okay.
beginning about the power of his credit and the power of being
Yes.
able to be independent. So we like at the very beginning of it. So hearing you talk,
Okay.
I'm listening. But we like at the beginning of it, we have an LLC and we just, was able to get our major credit card. We just started that because we just now a year in April.
Okay.
Well, another thing is that I learned when you're new and you're not in a year, a lot of things just wasn't open up or available to us at that time. It was,
Correct.
am I
Right.
right?
Right. You're
Okay.
100% right.
The first question was, oh, we only deal with people that's at least a year old, and it was just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So yeah, it's a lot that we're learning on this process, but definitely credit, I think, needs to be emphasized a lot more, in our households. And like I stated, for me, I decided to start when they were young because
Yes.
I didn't know. And once they hit college, they're gonna come after them like piranhas.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and so when you want some things in college and the money is low, that little credit card is a lifesaver.
But it goes quick.
It goes so quick and it comes out to haunt you. One thing that I did see in your bio that you sent me was
Okay.
regarding mental health and business. Explain to
Mm-hmm.
me, what do you mean about mental health and business?
So, what I mean in mental health and business. So, one, if you can't show up for yourself, you'll never be able to show up for your audience or your clients or your
Yeah.
team, right?
Yeah.
So, what I try to speak on is always making sure that you're mentally grounded, that even though you work hard in your business, always take time out for yourself, right? And it's not going being an entrepreneur is not easy. It is not easy.
Yeah.
And it's not for the faint, right? So it's going to be bad days, it's going to be good days, but at the same time, make sure that you are good mentally. Make sure you take those breaks where you just shut the noise out, and give yourself time to be able to regroup.
Yeah.
Because when, as entrepreneurs, especially just starting, we wear all the hats, right? So we're doing accounting, we're doing customer service, we're doing, we're literally doing it all. And
Yeah.
it gets overwhelming. But I like to speak on, making sure you take that time out for self, making sure your mental is good, because you have to be able to be mentally okay to before you can continue to run your business, or be there for your team, show up for your clients, show up for your audience, and marketing, all of that kind of things. So mental health is a big thing for me. I make sure my team, like every day I'm asking them, like, do you have, like, what's going on? How you feel today? Are you good? Do we need to talk? Because sometimes people, a lot of us suffer in silence, right?
Absolutely.
And a lot of people are very good with wearing a smile and hurting in the inside.
Yes.
But if you have someone that you're comfortable with and you let them know, like, it's okay to come talk to me. If we need to just step away and talk, and you need to cry, you need to scream, you need to get it out, that's okay. Because once you get it out, now you can move forward. Now you can heal, right? So that is a big thing for me, for entrepreneurs and just people, like, in general. So
I appreciate that. No, I think when you are responsible for any type of business or anything of this nature, for me, I know that I work harder doing this than I would have ever worked with the 9 to 5. Because you eat,
100%.
sleeping and thinking, you eat, sleeping and thinking about this a lot more. 100%. And I would put in way more hours than I ever would have, because when I was working with the state, I was watching the clock sometimes, like, okay,
yes.
It's time for me to clock out. Okay, bye. But I learned that when I'm working for myself, I enjoy it a lot more also, right?
Right.
So you get engulfed into it a lot more. And so the time is going. You have to stop to go to the restroom, okay? You have to stop to tell yourself to eat, And then often this is me typing and trying to eat at the same time, know. And when you was working the 9 to 5, it's like, wait a minute, this is my lunchtime. Excuse me.
Right. And see, so people
it's a
don't
understand.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like, as an entrepreneur, especially getting started, that's the hardest time, and that's the hardest time when you're the hardest on yourself. Because in the beginning, you're not always seeing that instant gratification. You're not always seeing that, ROI that you thought was going to come when you put the LLC out there or the business name out there, whatever. So it will mentally get to you. It will mentally, have you doubting yourself. It will mentally have you, thinking negatively, right? And so I always try to teach my mentees and stuff, like, no matter any of the negative thoughts you have, you do not give up. You are bigger than the negative thoughts, right? So don't allow that negativity, because we are our own worst critics, right?
Absolutely.
So don't allow the negativity in the head and the numbers that you don't see right now deteriorate you from the goal, the vision, you know?
I think one of the major flaws that I see in our community, for me, is needing a fast return.
Yes.
If we don't see something, like they should call it a microwave generation, but if we don't see something fast, next, just go ahead. That takes too much time, and they don't want to, put in the work. But if you love something, if you believe in something, you're going to put in that time, you're going to put in that work. And discouragement does come, things come, and you get little pitfalls and little distractions and detours. But in the end, if it's something that you're really passionate about, and you can hear that from any story, from anybody who has actually made it, right? And arrived to wherever destination they wanted to arrive to, when it comes to their business, if it's a celebrity or whatever else, they would tell you how hard it was, how difficult it was, how many no's they heard, how much rejection they got, And how many times has the author said, so many publishers told them, no way, no thank you, But now they're like major, right? It happens, but I think, this is just sometimes, like you said, it starts with our thinking. We have to that's why I have the title Renewed Mind. It's scripture based, but it's also scientifically proved. We have to undo a lot of the things that we've been taught over the years and years and years and years. I think
Yes.
everything has to come fast, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
like it doesn't work like that. You have,
Right.
I mean, people don't even want to go to school, to be honest, anymore, because they say it take up too much time. You know, they don't want to do it because what's the point? You know, it take up too much of my life. It's like 4 years of your life.
Right.
It's like 4 years of your life. Are you serious? Like, but this is what I hear all the time. You know, that
Mm-hmm.
that's too long. You know, and but then they can invest their time into something that produces absolutely nothing.
Correct.
Absolutely nothing. You give 8 hours to a show, 8 hours to a game, a video game, 8 hours to conversation, gossip, talking, all this stuff, but you won't give 8 hours to whatever it is that you feel like, you know, is your product.
Yep.
It makes no sense to me.
Trust me, I try and I try to teach the youth like everything is not gonna come quick and fast. And if it comes quick and fast, it's not gonna last, right?
No.
So anything that you're doing for your brand, for your business, it's an investment.
Yes.
Because any successful entrepreneur, uh celebrity, anybody
Right.
knows you have to pay to play, right?
Yeah.
So you have to invest in yourself,
Right.
because nobody's just going to hand it to you,
Right.
right?
Right.
So if you want your own brand and you want to be successful and you want to live the lifestyle that you're manifesting,
Right.
one, you're going to have to put in the work.
Right.
Two, you're going to have to invest in yourself. Three,
Right.
you're going to have to, be determined. You're going to have to push through those days when you don't want to get out of bed or,
Yes.
all of that.
Yes.
You're going to have to do that.
Yeah. Yes. And what puzzled me is that we don't want to invest in ourselves, but we would invest our money into everybody else and our time. You know, other companies, other businesses, you know, they're living their dream and you're feeding it. So why can't you put that same into your own, you know, your own
Yes.
idea? Yeah.
Yes,
So
that same energy, right?
right. In this podcast, I always teach about giving yourself a second chance, you know, giving yourself the opportunity to come out of whatever rut you think that you're in, that you're never too far gone. It's
Right.
never too late, you know,
Never.
never too
Never.
late. Look, I had not been in school for over 20 years, but I raised my kids. And I wanted a master's, you know, for years.
Okay.
I just finished this year, got a master's from University of Chicago. But, you know, that was something that I could have easily just said, well, which I did at first, I'm too old. I'm too old to even do. I haven't been in school for so long. I felt so out of my element at first, right? But when God calls you to do something, you know, and he provides the means, which he absolutely did. How could I dare say no? How could I say no? So he just laid it all out. And I was the type of person where I said, well, God, if it's what you want, this is what's about to happen, right? Because in the back of my mind, I'm like, say no, say no. But he laid it out so smooth that I had no choice but say, okay, you want this. I see you making so much provision for that, you know, and so I did it. So I always teach that, you know, it's never too late. You can be your worst enemy. We hold ourselves back, you know, and I really emphasize about time, because sometimes we think that, you know, we have all day, you know, and we procrastinate. And then there's times where we just want to rush. And it takes time for something to, you know, be tilted and to be nourished and to grow.
Right.
It takes time.
Right.
So, you know, I think that what you're doing is awesome. And I'm praying for much success for you, because I feel like it's definitely something that is needed, not only in our community, but in the youth altogether right now, because I don't think a lot of them see what is needed right now and how important this is that you're teaching. Nothing, everybody wants this fast, you know, everything quick.
Yeah.
Right, you know. And I'm like, no, that's not long term. You have to think long term. But
you do.
I'm gonna tell you something that will be a wall for you, because it's been a wall for me, is that some younger people now can't see the future anymore. You understand what I'm saying? They
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
have the aspirations of seeing a future. You know, especially when COVID came, I heard so many horror stories. So many people were afraid. You know, they just wanted to check out and stop living. And that's almost like the norm of that type of thinking of just, let me just check out. I don't know, you know, let me just pull myself away from society, away from life, and where, you know. And
Right.
so teaching hope has to be a part of every program, it seems now.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
teaching hope,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that,
Yes.
you know, there's a future and you're in it. You're in this
Yes.
future, you know.
And the thing,
Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
like the thing I like to talk about with, like, when I'm talking, like, I have a couple of mentees who are in their early 20s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting their businesses structured, all of this, right? And I'm so proud of them because they, in the beginning, were products of their environment, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't have resources. They did not have things handed to them. They did not have guidance,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like with our youth today, they don't have the guidance that
Mm-hmm.
they need
Yeah.
to be able to be successful,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And because, we all were teenagers, right? So, you get to that age, you grown, you want to do what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
So, like I tell my mentee, my younger ones, like, I'm so proud of them because I have a mentee right now. She's 21 and she's getting ready to buy her first home at
Awesome.
21.
Awesome. It is.
So, like, I definitely, youth and kids are very near and dear to my heart, right?
Yeah,
Because I just know there's so many cards stacked against them at this day and age.
Yeah.
There's so many cards stacked against them. And they don't know the value of putting in work or, doing this to get to that, end goal.
Right.
They know what they see on social media of somebody driving, a fancy car or whatever, mm-hmm. But there's things that came with that. There was a lot of sacrificing. Trust me, I know, right? There's a lot of sacrificing. Right. There's a lot of bloodshed and tears, mm-hmm. And that is what I try to tell our youth when I speak to them and when I go out to the community and stuff. Like, everything that glitter not gold, right? Mm-hmm. Just because a person is portraying this lifestyle, mm-hmm. Don't think that that's really what it is. Mm-hmm. So I just feel like with our youth, they just want everything so fast, so quick, but they don't have the proper tools. They don't have the proper guidance. They don't have the proper financial literacy. Like, when I go out and speak to our community, so I do like a class at our library for 14 to 19-year-olds, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm literally teaching them how to balance a checkbook, how to, create a savings, right? Yeah. How to open up a bank account, right? Yeah. Different things in that nature because they do not know. Yeah. Yeah. And at that age, that is when they need to know it the most, right? Yeah. Because once you get 18, 19, 20, 21, if you're not focused and you don't have a plan, that's when they turn to the streets or they, go out here and mess up all their credit, because they don't know the significance of their credit and the power it will give them if they do right by it. Right.
Right, right. Absolutely. Because it kind of make me think about when my sons first started with their checking accounts and stuff, and me going, no one did that with me, Tony. No
Mm-hmm.
one did that.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
it was me just literally feeling, I literally as a parent was thinking of everything that I wish I had known and trying to do that with my kids. I probably overdo it sometimes, but I literally was like sitting down saying, this is what you do, this is what you write, this is what this means. And to this day, if they're, confused like about something, they'll come back and check just to make sure. Because I opened that door of communication
Right.
where they feel
Right.
comfortable enough to say, hey, I'm not sure about this. So
Right.
what do you think? All
Mm-hmm.
right, this is a teaching moment. So next time you will know for yourself. Let's go over this.
Mm-hmm.
So each one of my sons, I have sat down, show them how to open up checking accounts and how to their first credit cards was something that I introduced them to. Both. Here's your first credit card. This is your limit. This is how you work this credit card. My youngest daughter, I never gave her a checking account, but what I did was give her a card that she has access to and she knows
Mm-hmm.
how to spend. So she watched. It's so funny how they can watch their money, but they didn't
Oh,
watch.
right. Okay.
She like a little calculator when it comes to her money. She like, wait, I spend this. I'm gonna have only this
Right.
courtesy when it comes to my money because it never ends. What is the studious person when it comes to my money? She like calculate this and I have this left over. It's just so funny to me. I'm just looking like laughing, like inside, like it's so. I mean, every to the dime.
Right.
She have a little left over. Just managing that money. And so I always felt like I never wanted my children to go through the bumps and the bruises that I did.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just lack of knowledge, lack of
Right.
understanding. I just really did not know, the
Mm-hmm.
extent of what that would do. And so as a parent, and like you said, there are people who don't get that because I was one of them. I didn't get that part.
Right.
And so they need to know, like, the checking accounts and, the savings accounts, how important that is, credit and all that, and it's not given in the homes. It's
Right.
only given, in school, they only go so much with that. They just,
Right.
my daughter had something in school at one time, but it was never to this extent, that
Mm-hmm.
needs to be. I don't know
Yeah.
why they're gonna push that more in school, but
I don't know either. I really do not know why either, because that is something that will be so beneficial for
yeah,
them.
yeah,
So beneficial, you
yes, I mean,
know.
everyday life.
And it's like I said, are you today? There's so many cards stacked against them, right?
Right.
So I mean, that's that. It just blows my mind how it's not already in the school systems.
Yeah. So that's why it's important for your type of program. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
more relatable. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times these companies, they don't even have real faces.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Right.
It's like, who am I even dealing with, right?
Right.
So it's good to have someone that you see, you're relatable. So that's good. So Tony, tell me, I know some of the business offers that you have for your business is website, structure of your business. You said LLC funding, credit card, grant writing. So if someone was interested in,
Mm-hmm.
contacting you and your
Yeah.
business, they're interested, how do they do that?
So you can reach me on any of my platforms. So my Facebook is at Antionett Beck. My TikTok is Tony Toni dot Lasha LASHA. My Instagram is LLC Level Up Financial. And then you can always call the office at 734-469-9151 and book a consultation. So that is the best way to get in contact with me, is either calling the office or, going to any of my socials, hit me up in my inbox or something. I might not get to you right away, but please charge it to my head and not my heart, okay?
Okay. Okay. So just for someone who might be interested, I'm this type of person. I'll listen and I go, that sounds really good.
Okay.
But what's the cost? Like, are there packages? You don't have to give us a straight cost right now, but if you want to, you can. But are there package deals? Are they, individual? Say I have it on my own website. I have this LLC, I have this, but I only want this product. Do you offer individual products? I mean,
So we offer individual products, which is our a la carte. We have one-on-one programs. Okay. We have a coaching program. We have a mentor program. We have a program where we teach you how to write a book, how to, write ebooks, how to do marketing. We have a program for literally everything. Anything in your business, anything in your business, we can help you with it. Like we have a program for it. Everything is structured for your specific needs. Okay. So it's very, valuable for you to book the consultation so that the team will know like specifically what you need. And then that way we can kind of filter a perfect program for you. Okay.
You say you've been doing this since 2020, right?
So I've been doing this since 2019.
2019. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So have you found this to be, is there a great need out there, you think, of individuals?
I definitely think it is. Okay. Of course, with any business, you have, you're going to deal with who you like, love, and trust, right? Right. I definitely feel like there is a need for it because everybody teaches and everybody learns differently, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just feel like, yes, there's a huge need, especially for financial literacy, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's lucrative. It's definitely something, that we need all over. Yeah. And I love what I do. I truly, truly, truly love what I do.
Yeah. And it sounds like it, and that's important because once again, when we follow our passion, we're way more productive when we're to follow our passions. Mm-hmm. So let me just tell again that my listeners can reach you on Instagram. You even have a Twitter, right? Was it TikTok?
Nope. So it's Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And I also have a LinkedIn. Yep.
Okay. Exactly. And so your number is 734-469-9151. And they can book a consultation with you at that number, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So look, today has been great. I love our conversation. And I'm so glad to be able to connect with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Level up.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. Yes, I see it. Such a need for it. And so I appreciate you so much. I hope you enjoyed your time here on Renewed Mind Revolution podcast. This has been your host, Michelle Cookall. As always, it is my honor and my pleasure to be able to come and share some tips and some tools with you that I know will assist you in becoming a better you. Thank you for tuning in on today. Thank you to our special guest, Tony, also Antionett Beck. And it has been my honor to talk and chat with her today. I hope you got something from her. Remember, I love you, but most importantly, God loves you more. God bless you guys.